Good morning. At least for the next 6.5, 7 minutes or so. 7 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I've been busy this morning. So here's what's been happening. This episode's probably gonna have very little to do with the model ship because I have been busy. And you know how I like to talk, and I can't tell just a little bit of the story. I have to tell the whole story, what led up to it and everything. Okay, so about 2 weeks ago, I was trying to get a hold of our Manitoba Public Insurance place over here, which is just nice and handy, but they're closed. So I phoned the agent where I had got my license plates for the scooter, and I asked them what do I do about the driver's license for the motorcycle learner's permit. He says, well, what you do is you go to the Manitoba Public Insurance place on Plessis Road, which is about 4 kilometers from here, I guess. It's almost identical to the one that's right close by. And you go there. So I go out there, and the first door I try, I can't get in. So I see a long line of cars that have been damaged or whatever, trying to get into the service area, and there was a guy standing there, and I went over there and I said to him, where do I go to write this knowledge test? Oh, he says you go to the other building, and he points the way around. So I go around to the other place and I find it, and I go in there, and there's a couple of really nice smiling people at the counter, and there was no waiting, and why are you here? Well, I want to write this knowledge test for the motorcycle learner's permit. Well, they're looking me up and down. Where's your paperwork that you would have got? And I don't have it. Well, it turns out that the agent that I phoned didn't tell me that I had to go to him first and give them the money, and then I take the paper to this other place where I write the test. And so I had to go back to the agent, and so I got the piece of paper, went back to the Manitoba Public Insurance place to write the test, gave them the paper, everything's fine. They sit me down at a table, and they say you can only get three wrong. Well, at the beginning of the test, so that you can get used to the mouse and everything, there's a practice question, and the practice question is your birth date. It gives the right birth date, and then 3 wrong ones. Well, the idea is you're supposed to click on the right one. Well, I got that one right. Now, brace yourselves. I got 100%. Yeah, I'm still surprised. I didn't get any wrong. So anyway, then from there you go to another place, and they register everything in their computer system, and they said now you go back to the agent where you originally were, and he will issue you the driver's learner's permit. So it says I've got my class 5 driver's license for the car, and I've got a class 6 learner's. And my hope is that by next spring, unless complete insanity hasn't set in, I'm going to be able to upgrade to something a little bit bigger, because the scooter is a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, but it's slow, and it doesn't pick up speed quickly. It's I have traffic. If I get on a busy freeway or anything, well, I can't go on a freeway. But even where it's 60 kilometers an hour here, and there's a lot of places just over here, it's 60 kilometers an hour already. Now I can do it. I can get it up to 60, but it takes a while to get there. And I've said this before, my poor little motor, it's just screaming like a model airplane engine. That little scooter's just not designed for that sort of thing. And not only that, it's fairly light, and it doesn't handle potholes very good. So my thinking is I want to move up either to a bigger scooter or maybe even a genuine motorcycle. We'll see. But, it could be by next spring I'll have come to my senses and realize that, hey, maybe this is not a good idea. But that won't be any fun. Anyway, that's what I've been doing all morning, running back and forth. Oh, and I got gas for the scooter. So what do we got here? We got 1 minute to noon. It's still morning. So let's see. Maybe we can do something here. Oh, we'll talk about the blast bags. Yeah. Okay. If you're looking at the clock, you'll notice that you might say a big bunch of time has passed here. Yeah, I got busy doing other stuff. Now, it seems to me I had said we'll look at the blast bags, or talk about the blast bags, or something to do with the blast bags. Okay, here is the blast bag. Now, it was recommended, let me zoom in a bit here. It was recommended that maybe what I could do is paint these the number XF85, which is gives sort of a finish like rubber. I don't have that. Now I know I could jump in the car and go get it. But what I do have is 3 different types of black here. I got this Stynylrez black primer, which is a little bit, you might say, on the shiny side or glossy side. Then I've got this NATO black, which is sort of an off black, like it's not as deep black as the XF number 1, which is your basic flat black. Now, I think this one is out. It's just too black. But I think that I'm going to do an experiment just to see what it would look like if I just sort of brush some of the Stynylrez on. And maybe I'll do a little bit of the 69 here as well. And just see. I'm not gonna do it on this. I'll just do it on something else, piece of scrap, and just see how does it look. I know that the 85 would probably be better, but like I say, I don't have it. So and it's not that hugely important to me, as you know. I am not a rivet counter, although I had originally been thinking of doing these in sort of an off-white, if you remember, to give them sort of a canvas look. But yeah. Oh, and Corey was saying that the picture that he is standing in front of the barrels, well, they're black. So yeah. I guess the Iowa, that's the way they were. I don't know what they were on the Bismarck or the Hood or the Rodney. I just never paid a whole lot of attention to it. Come to think of it, I think they were only on the Hood. If you remember, 6 Airbrush Tony sent us the blast bags, the upgrade kit for the Hood. So we were able to actually use blast bags, but it could be the other ones. I can't even remember. Okay, I'm looking at the Bismarck right now. There are no blast bags at all. So let's move on here. Let's sample some of this stuff. Okay, here's the plan. Now, I'm not going to use this. Well, I guess I sort of am. I'm not going to paint on that. I'm going to paint in this. Now, all right, so we'll do a little sample on one side with Stynylrez, and the other will be the 69. Is that 69? Yeah. All right, that should work. I think maybe I should shake these up first. And yeah, let's get at it here. Now, yesterday afternoon, the weather did hold, and I was able to get out on 2 wheels again, this time the scooter. And I left at 3 minutes after 3 and got back at 5 minutes to 5. And I think that calculates out to 1 hour and 52 minutes. I think that's a little bit longer than even yesterday. Things are getting worse, or better, depending on how you want to look at it. Anyway, it was pretty cold. I think it was around 12 degrees Celsius, but I enjoyed it. I actually didn't feel too cold. Even though I was just sitting there with anywhere from a 30 to 60 kilometer wind blowing over me, and yeah, it went surprisingly well. I think that helmet is really good in cold weather, except that the visor will start to fog up when I stop. Like stop at a stop sign or a red light for a while. Mostly at lights where you have to stop for a minute or so. The inside of the helmet will start to fog up, but I just sort of flip it up and solves that problem. Anyway, I had a great time. Yeah, a great time. And I'm going to keep trying to have a great time until that white stuff covers the ground and it gets too slippery. Now, mind you, when it gets down to about, zero, even if the roads are bare, I don't know how anxious I'm going to want to be, going out. Anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough here. Trying to get it to reflect light here, and both of them are very, very flat. But I think I'm going to go with the Stynylrez. Yeah, why not? I've already got it. Kind of looks rubbery. Okay. When I was editing out the opening scene, and I looked at my car out the window, and I thought, it looks like I've backed into something. It looks like the back of the car is damaged. It looked like sort of a crease in the hatch. Now it turns out that it was just dirty. I realize now, I was trying to think, well, when was the last time I washed my car? And the last time I washed my car was when I was going to go to my wife's funeral, and I wanted the car as clean as possible. That was going on 6 years ago. Don't tell anybody, but that's yeah, so I think maybe it's time I ran it through the car wash again, get some of the road grease off the back of it there. The thing of it is, it looks clean, so I didn't wash it. I'd do the windows. All right, what do we got here? 2:34. All right, in less than an hour, my neighbor's coming over for coffee. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Today's Friday. So I'm going to call her quits here. I apologize for not having much of an episode, but life kind of got in the way of the model table here. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we're going to see you tomorrow. Now, as for our sunrise this morning, well, it was still dark when our friends Dawn and Bridget came through. And yeah, it's getting light later and later every day, quite noticeably. And this morning we had a bit of cloud cover, and yeah, it just didn't get light until long after they had passed. But when it got light, well, then the sun, I was watching it in the monitor, and it was pretty spectacular there for a while. And I was thinking, we're going to have a great sunrise. But then once again, as soon as the sun came up, it just sort of died out. But it was nice for a while. Yeah, it was nice for a while.